Hello and welcome. In case you haven't watched the last video, I basically did some minor touch-ups that included patching, sanding, and painting. I didn't get to finish everything that I had set out to do, so to help me stay on track, I started another project instead. I decided I would tackle the dining room. All it really needs is a fresh coat of paint, maybe some new curtains, and wainscoting. That seemed simple enough, except it wasn't. And after searching on Pinterest, I went with 3 designs that stuck out the most. This one seemed pretty simple. My idea was that I would keep the shape pretty easy, and inside of the frame, I would add wallpaper. Same with option 2, a simple design and wallpaper on the inside of the frame. And finally, there was option 3. This option, I did not consider wallpaper in the center, and that's because I felt like the design itself stood out enough and didn't need anything added like wallpaper. Ultimately, I went with option number 3. It stood out the most, and that also meant I didn't have to choose a wallpaper to go inside the frame. Every now and again when I climb up and down ladders, specifically ladders, not like stairs, my vertigo starts to throw me off. At this point, I had to take a step back to figure out the spacing. I know I wanted the frames to be evenly spaced. However, I didn't want the space to be too small in between, and I didn't want them to be too wide either. I enlisted the help of my mathematician husband and his calculator, and we finally figured out what was going to fit best in this space. Finding the measurements did take a little bit longer than expected. I'm pretty sure we just overcomplicated things. Ultimately, we did find the correct measurements that I was happy with, and we were able to move on. The design I chose had inverted corners, so instead of doing the extra math to find the measurements, I decided I'd make it easier on myself and use my notebook. So when I was measuring everything, I didn't account for the outlet. I don't like where it's placed, so I'm going to take the cover off and see what I'm working with behind the wall. And hopefully it doesn't take so much work. I started cutting into the wall and noticed this wood. It doesn't look like your standard 2x4. So I'm going to cut some more over here. I'm hoping if it is wood that I can just, mount the outlet on the opposite side. I had no idea I had this behind here. I feel like I just, made a new discovery. I had no idea. I can't even remember if I seen paneling when I did the walkthrough before we purchased the home. I really wish I could just see what it looks like, because that doesn't look bad. To be honest, I don't want wood paneling. I kind of feel bad for the next person who decides this was a horrible idea and they want to see what's behind here and they got paneling and they're a fan of that, and I done put another hole in the wall for them. Well, that's the next person's problem. I don't think I got the time to just keep cutting with the saw. I didn't want to have to take out something so beefy, but I don't want to spend, it was like 2 minutes to cut just one side. So moving on. Before using this, I was watching videos that, were little tutorials on how to use this properly. And there was one video in particular where the guy wasn't wearing any eyewear. And for the most part, every video was like, have eyewear on, use protective eyewear. And in this video, there was a guy that commented, I've been doing carpentry for over 15 years, and the first rule should always be use protective eyewear. So I didn't have it for the beginning of this project, but I do now, and I will be using it moving forward. Problem is going to be short one piece of trim. I don't feel like going back to the store, and I'm not doing that because we're in the middle of a snowstorm. I don't know what threw my measurements off, but I do have like a lot of excess. At least I don't mind mitering the edges so I can put two together to create one long one, because I don't feel like wasting this. And it's my home. I'm pretty sure nobody will see it. We'll see if I can make it work. So it is day 2 or maybe 3 of working on this. It took me pretty much all day yesterday during the snowstorm to finish this. The only thing we're missing is the sides. Every 5 attempts, only one works. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. That took entirely way too long to complete, but again, we had the malfunctions with the nail gun, and with a little help from my husband and some Google and YouTube, we might have solved the problem. So hopefully the next 2 are pretty quick. I'm going to break and have a much needed lunch so I don't rage on the rest. Get the outlet moved over, and I'm very happy about that. but it did involve some patching, so I went ahead and patched the hole that was right behind it. But I do have to go over it again because you can see the tape coming through. I'm going to give it another coat. And while I was at it, I went ahead and patched other holes or little dings that were on the wall. And that's all sanded. I went around the whole room and did it as well. So that's all done. The only thing we'll need to wait for is this area to dry. But while I wait for that to dry, I'm going to cut the last few pieces and we'll go from there. So I went ahead and sanded everything down. That's finished. I'm ready to move on to caulking, but before I do that, I do want to wipe everything down to make sure it's free of any dust. So for the caulk, I'm only doing the things that are visible to me. I'm not doing anything that's up high or anything that is hidden. I'm going to do everything that like you will see right away and things that paint won't cover. So pretty much all the vertical lines will definitely be caulk, but everything that is going horizontal up top will not be caulk. And it took me so long to sand in between the corners that I'm trying to cut where I can.